A lot to cover in today's news. In 2 days, the rookies actually report to training camp, and then a couple days later, the veterans do as training camp starts. A lot finally starting to happening. If you're ready for the Honolulu Blue season to begin, it's starting this week. Sue retires. We'll talk about that really quickly. Former Lion, give him some love there. Jared Goff ranking. He's getting love from NFL coaches and executives. Ravens Lions trade idea that popped up. I'll go ahead and put that away. Tate Ratledge contract, as I'm recording this right now, he is not signed. Dan Campbell motivation. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. Start off the show here and just letting you know that Ndamukong Suh, former Lion, has retired. He says before he passed, he gave me on one final piece of advice. It's time to let football go. You've done everything you've set out to do. Now it's time for the next chapter. He's ready to retire. And when I think of Ndamukong Suh, I think of one of my favorite moments. It was actually in a preseason game as a rookie. Oh my, you guys remember this? Do you guys remember this? Him messing up the Cleveland Browns quarterback, Jake Delhomme, the craziest quarterback throwdown ever. That was in preseason. That made me laugh. There's other memories as well in his rookie year where he hit the football up. It flew in the air. He caught it for an interception, and then he did the cool walk to the sideline with his arms. That was pretty dope. What did Sue do throughout his career? Give him a little bit of love here. He played in 128 games out of 199. He had 71.5 sacks, 392 solo, and 5 forced fumbles. That was throughout all his tenure in the NFL, wasn't just with the Detroit Lions. But, shout out to Ndamukong Suh. Give him love, a little bit of segment on this video. I know a lot of people could have been salty about the situation where he left in free agency, but that regime was bad. So show some love to Sue by placing a 90 in the comments. Jared Goff getting love from NFL defensive coordinators, AFC, and executives alike. He has developed into one of the game's best pure passers, an NFC defensive coach explained. He doesn't turn the ball over as he used to be. He's a reliable quarterback in a real arm, so he's not just a drop-back passer. He makes S happen. He's become more than that. He's improved in his ability to reset and deliver the ball accurately, and has changed his career, they said. The coaching staff of Detroit gave him a great sense of calm in the pocket, and he capitalized on that. That was an NFC and AFC guy talking about Jared Goff. What has Goff done last year? And we'll tell you the ranking in a second. Well, this is what he did last year. 4,629 yards. That's second best in the NFL. 37 touchdowns. Fourth best in the NFL. 12 interceptions. 99th. You want it to be a little high. QBR 68.4, sixth. So his ranking was 8th behind couple good quarterbacks. So they placed him 8th in the NFL. And that is, again, executives not in coaching, not of the Detroit Lions. This is other squads. Other squads. I know a lot of people are going to say, Jared Goff sucks. Jared Goff's great. It doesn't really matter. But it's okay to have a good quarterback in the NFL. Jared Goff is a good quarterback, whether you like him or hate him. If you want to put him as great, you want to put him as lead. If you want to put him whatever is average, mid, he's a good quarterback. The stats show it. The executives talk about it. Coaches talking about it. He's a good quarterback. I do think he's a top 10 quarterback. It just depends where you want to put him. And also when it comes to quarterbacks, yes, he's not the most elite quarterback with his skill set, with his legs. He doesn't have the most elite arm. But in my opinion, you could have things that are lackluster, and then part of your game is great. It's going to make you good. He's really good dissecting defenses and just throwing to the open man. He can do a layup of a pass. He can do a fast fire pass, right? But he's a good quarterback, and it's okay to have a good quarterback. Now, if I look at the rankings, so they gave him 8. They had Baker Mayfield above Jared Goff. Now, in my opinion, I'm not going to put Baker Mayfield above Jared Goff. So I think Baker Mayfield is behind Jared Goff. That's just my personal opinion. Jared Goff's been to a Super Bowl, been to an NFC championship, well, multiple NFC championships with two teams. Not to a Super Bowl, two teams. He almost got that. And he took a franchise like the Lions to where it is right now. And I think you have to put that on there. And there's something about a quarterback who wins, a winner. Jared Goff wins a lot of games. He does win games. Now, we lost. It was a meltdown in the playoffs last year. It was. But he played good in the playoffs before that. Us not going to the Super Bowl versus the 49ers was not Jared Goff. Josh Reynolds, if he would have just caught one of those fourth down catches, we probably in the Super Bowl. If there's no fumble, we probably are in the Super Bowl. Okay, so I think he is. Depends where you want to put it. And that's going to be the question now for you guys. Is Jared Goff a top 10 quarterback? Why for yes and for no? Give me your thoughts in the comments. We have a trade idea that came from Last Word Sports from Anthony Palacios. He says, sending Alex Anzalone to the Ravens. Yeah. Says the Baltimore Ravens have a questionable linebacker heading unit into 2025 regular season between Rodolfo Owe, Kyle Vinoy, and David Ojabo. The Ravens may want a dramatically different linebacker room this season. They should start investing a little bit of cap space that they have, since all three of those athletes are on contract years. Trenton Simpson hasn't been living up to the expectations, so if Anzalone becomes available, the Ravens should target him. What do you say for this draft? There was no actual compensation. And I went to multiple to look for it, and I couldn't find it, so he didn't put one down. Here's the deal. We're not trading Alex Anzalone. Why is that? Here is the depth chart of the Lions linebacking room. There it is right now. Alex Anzalone, Jack Campbell, Derek Barnes. Malcolm Rodriguez is on here, but remember, he's injured. So he's not going to be part of the 53 to start out. Obviously, he's on here, but he's injured. If you remove Alex Anzalone, you're going Jack Campbell, third year, in which we like Jack Campbell. Derek Barnes, who was injured last year through the whole year. Grant Stewart, Trevor Nowoski, Ezekiel Turner, and an injured Malcolm Rodriguez. That makes zero sense. And the Lions are trying to win a Super Bowl. How many times do we have to say this? They're not trading Alex Anzalone. They're not trading Jamison Williams. They're not trading Adrian Hutchinson. They're not trading Jared Goff. They're not trading, I don't know what other they're not trading away their talent. Alex Anzalone will be in Detroit. He will the money will be taken care of. It will happen. The Lions love Alex Anzalone. Thor, green dot, guy that brings intensity. They have the money to pay him for this year. They do, so they can do it for sure. He loves Detroit. He wants to be in Detroit. His family loves Detroit. He's got a kind of like a little cult fan base here of people wearing the Thor costume and stuff. All right? These guys will make it happen. Probably happen in the next couple days. And when it does happen, I will make a video on this one. I won't make a video on a Tate Ratledge signing. We'll get to that in a second when they sign him. But if Alex Anzalone does do a sign, I'll do a quick breaking video on that because I know a lot of people want to hear about it. And that's going to go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and dovetail to the next subject here, and that's talking about Tate Ratledge. And Tate Ratledge has yet to sign with the Detroit Lions as I'm recording this video on Monday. Okay, so if you're watching this and it happens, I'm sure it's going to happen relatively soon. It's going to happen. Here it is. You look at the other Lions players, the rookies. The Lions have got them signed. Tyleik Williams, 4-year, $16.4 million deal, done. Isaac Tesla, $4 million, $6.6 million deal, 4-year. Miles Frazier, 4-year, $4.52. Ahmed Hassaneed, 4-year, $4.42 million. Dan Jackson, 4-year, $4.3 million, and Dominic Lovett, 4-year, $4 million deal. One guy, right? Miles Frazier. He's not signed yet to the Lions. The Lions haven't done it yet. But make no mistake about it, folks. It's going to happen. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Be happy. just like that talking fish. He'll sign relatively soon. Probably by the time you watch this, he's already signed. It's not a big deal. I won't make a video on the signing because it's kind of pointless. Let's go ahead and transition what Dan Campbell spoke. I thought this was kind of interesting. He talks about the motivation, the Lions versus the Green Bay game when we were not making the playoffs. He says, remember that last of the Mohicans were the French? They got them to call the truce, and they've got to leave the fort. The British do, and then they're in the long journey, and Daniel Day-Lewis is in the cuffs. And they're in the forest now, and they've surrendered on both sides, and all of a sudden, the Huron just came out of nowhere with the tomahawks, and they showed them, like, hey, man, defense, this is what I look at you, you're the Huron, and I don't give an F. You go out there, tomahawks, and just swing and hit anybody wherever, and you as long as you can, and that's all that is required. That's it. That's all I want you to do. Just go out and give them hell for 60 minutes and make them earn everything. He's given clips of the last of the Mohicans of going crazy and just freaking splitting wigs and taking names there. And whatever motivation works, Dan Campbell's got it. I love it, man. I tell you what, when I was in the Army, we had motivation too. You listen to motivational music. You can watch a movie. I remember we watched a movie before we hit ground in Iraq. It was just some deployment movie. It's to psych you up, and that's what they do, right? That's what leaders do. They're trying to find way to motivate you, motivate people. And so I love what this guy, his motivation's crazy. He goes from Metallica to There's No Light at the Tunnel to kneecaps to this guy's getting and drowning people in the ocean. So I love it, man. Whatever it takes for motivation, this guy's gotten it. He's a leader of men, and that's just the hashtag facts the situation. All those media types that made fun of the Lions for making him our coach, hey, we took the kneecap biter. He's our man, and we love it. With that said, folks, adios.